everybody, welcome back to another video. I have a new crochet stitch for you all this week and it is called a spike stitch. I think it's called the spike stitch. It's using double crochets and extended double crochets into previous rows, which will become much more clearer as we progress through this stitch. So I just have some DK weight yarn today. I'm actually going to be using 3 different colours, but you can just use one colour. I'm showing you 3 different colours so that you can see the difference between the stitches, and also because I feel that it adds something a little bit more special to this stitch if you do switch up the colour. But again, that'll become much more clearer as we progress through. I have a 4mm hook and then obviously a pair of scissors to chop off your ends as well. Okay then, so we're going to begin this stitch by making a slip knot, and you can do this in whichever way that you prefer. If you're unfamiliar with the slip knot, then I do have a video on my channel and I will link it in the description box down below. So this stitch works in multiples of 6 plus 1. So you're just going to yarn over and work the amount of chains that you need. I'm just going to be doing a small swatch square today, so I'll only need a short number of chains. So here is my multiple of 6, so I've chained 24 chains, and then I'm just going to plus 1. And then also plus another one for my turning chain. Then for our foundation row, all we're going to do is work double crochets all the way along the row. I am working in UK terminology for this video today, so this is a single crochet in US terms and a double crochet in UK terms. Again, it's the same stitch, just different terms. So into the second chain from your hook, insert your crochet hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. You should have 2 loops on your hook, then yarn over and pull through both of those loops. Into the next chain space, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2. Into the next one, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through both loops. So you're going to continue working this all the way along into every single chain space until you get to the end of your foundation chain. So I've just come to the end of my foundation chain, so that's row number 1 complete. For row number 2, all you need to do is chain 1 and turn your work so you have the wrong side facing you. And again, into every single stitch this time we're going to work a double crochet. So insert your hook into the first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. Into the next stitch, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And once again you're going to work this all the way along for row number 2. Okay then, so this is where it does become a little bit repetitive. So now you're going to repeat this row number 2, so basically just working double crochets into every single stitch for the next 4 rows. So row 3, row 4, row 5 and row 6 are all going to be worked in the exact same way. So you're going to have a total of 6 rows of double crochets at the end. So pause the video here, work double crochets in every single stitch along your row for row number 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then meet me back when you finish that. Okay, so I'm just on my last stitch of row number 6. I'm just going to insert my hook and work a double crochet. I'm actually going to change colours here, but again it's totally optional to you if you want to stick with the same colour, but I'm just going to change quickly also because it helps me to show you the difference in rows. So chain 1 and turn your work once again. Okay then, so to begin this row we're going to start with a double crochet. So just like we've done for the other rows, work a double crochet. And now we're going to work something that's called an extended double crochet. And we're going to work these in the next couple of stitches. So what you're going to do is find your next stitch and you're going to work into the stitch directly beneath it in the previous row. So I know that sounds a little bit confusing, but this is row number 6 here at the top, but we're going to work into this stitch here, which is actually from row number 5. So all you do to find that is find your next stitch, just like you were going to work into it as a double crochet, but you're going to go directly beneath it from the previous row, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. You should have 2 loops on your hook, and you're going to yarn over and just pull through those 2 loops like so. And all that does is extends this double crochet so it goes a little bit longer. So now we're going to work an even longer one. So what you're going to do is find your next stitch, move down to row 5, move down once again to row number 4, find that stitch, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. It can be quite tricky to find where you're going into, but don't worry if you don't go into it in the right way for the first time. As soon as you get the hang of it and you practice this and you've done a few more rows like this, you will be able to see where you're going into. Another thing I do want to quickly mention is with this spike stitch, it is quite tricky to get your tension right. If you're going right down here and pulling your tension really tight, your work is going to curl up and cinch together. So making sure when you're working your spike double crochets to keep it nice and loose and to have big loopy double crochets. So now finding the next one. So we've done 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3. Now finding the next double crochet across, working down to row 5, down to row 4, and then down to row number 3, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, making sure it's nice and loose, and then yarning over and pulling through both loops. Like so. Now into the next row below. So this is row number 2, working into the next stitch. And then finding the next stitch along in row number 1. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, nice and loosely, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So there we have worked we've worked 1 normal double crochet and then we've worked 5 extended double crochets, moving down a row every time. So now you can find your next stitch and work a normal double crochet. And then you're going to repeat that again. So finding your next stitch from the row below, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, find your next stitch, move down to row 5, down to row 4 and find that stitch, work down to row number 5, down to row number 4 and then down to row number 3 like so, again keeping it nice and loose. Into the next one, but down into row number 2, extended double crochet, and finally finding your last one and working right down to row number 1. So you're going to repeat that all the way along your row for the amount of repeats that you need. Remember to start off with a normal double crochet and then you work your 5 extended double crochets, moving across a stitch and down a row each time. So I'm going to repeat that along my row and then meet you back at the end. Okay, so I've just finished that row as you can see, and I have 1 double crochet left at the very end. All you're going to do is find that stitch at the very end and work a double crochet. Now you can chain 1 and turn your work. So that was row number 7. And for the next 5 rows, so row 8, 9, 10 and 11 and 12, you're going to work double crochets into every stitch along the row. Along this row, that'll be row 8, and then double crochets in every single stitch 9, 10, 11 and 12. Pause the video here and I will meet you back when I've completed that. Okay, so again I've just come to the end of my row and I'm going to change colour to this grey. So now I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work, so we're back to the front. So as you can see, we had the row 1 of this white and then we worked 5 more rows of double crochets, and now we're ready to work the spike stitch row again. So you're going to begin with a normal double crochet in that first stitch, and then we're going to work an extended double crochet. So I'm going to try and show you a little bit clearer. It's very tricky to show and it's very tricky to kind of see on your own work anyway, but kind of just go through and see if that looks right, then it probably is right, and if it looks wrong, if it looks in the wrong place, if it looks diagonal, then it's probably wrong, and all you need to do is kind of undo that stitch and try again. So all we're going to do is find the next stitch over and move down 1. So this is where I'm working into. Insert my hook, yarn over and pull through 2. Then in the next stitch, we're going to find the next stitch, move down 1 and move down another 1 for stitch number 3. So you're moving down a row each time. Find your next stitch, move down 1, move down another 1, and move down another time. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, and work a double crochet. There we go. Find your next stitch, move down 1, move down another 1, move down another 1, and finally move down another 1. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop nice and gently, yarn over and pull through 2. And then finally, the last one is quite easy to see because it's this stitch here. So if we move all the way down, it ends up being this stitch here right above our spike stitch from the previous kind of rows. So work another spike stitch into that stitch like so. So there we have our extended double crochets. Now we can work a normal double crochet in the next stitch, and we can repeat those extensions. So find the stitch from the previous row, move across and down another row, across and down another row, across and down another row. I know it's very repetitive. And then finally into that last one there. So there we have our spike stitch. So all you need to do now is repeat that all the way along the rest of your row, and I will meet you back when you finish that. And then I'm at the end and I just have one final stitch to work, so I'm just going to work that double crochet like so. So now you're going to work your normal double crochet rows, so 5 rows of just normal double crochet back and forth, and then you can work your spike stitch row and then your 5 rows again and again and again. I'm going to work a few more rows so that you can see what it looks like, and then I will meet you back when I've done that. So this is how my work is looking after a few more rows of working the spike stitch. It's a gorgeous stitch, and as you can see with the colour changes, they add a really nice special detail to it as well. I love this stitch because it's also reversible, which is perfect. And you can have fun with it. You can experiment with the height of your extended double crochets. You could maybe start going down and then gradually go back up and start going down and kind of make a triangle. I'm definitely going to have a bit more of a play around with this stitch and use it in some future projects, hopefully. It would be perfect for maybe a baby blanket, a scarf, something fun like that. So I hope you enjoyed this video today, and I hope you love this stitch as much as I do. Leave me a like if you did enjoy this video, and comment down below any questions that you may have, and also any other future ideas that you might like to see from me in the future tutorials and so on. Subscribe so you never miss another video, and you can join this wonderful community of crafters, and I will see you all very soon with another one. Bye!